Good morning everyone and welcome to IR Photo Tours, but not IR Photo Tours. We're not doing photos, we're doing woodwork today. My name is Ian Robinson and this is
Matthew Wheeler.
And we work together very well with projects like this. So if you're in the market for a lovely well-made greenhouse, a nice solid wooden one, then why not come to us? We are going to be building a greenhouse, and it's going to be a Victorian greenhouse in between a lot of brickwork. So we're going to have bricks on either side, bricks on the back, and we are building the frame, we are building rafters and all the front frame, and a lovely Iroko door, similar to this one here that you can see in the shot. We have got to start somewhere, so this greenhouse, as the name suggests, it's a Victorian greenhouse built from start to finish. So you are going to see a lot of the processes in this build from start to finish. So the start, of course, is getting a plan made, that being the plan so far. So obviously we've done a lot of sketches and a lot of different drawings, but we've drawn it on a board, so we've got the rafter angle there, and we've worked out that the rafter angle needs to be 15 degrees. And then this front piece here, you can see here, I'm building it slightly different to my Victorian greenhouse. We are going to have an upstand top to the frame. When I say the frame, I'm talking about the front frame of the greenhouse. And then this piece here is obviously the style to the frame, and this will be cut, the style will be cut into this upstand here, or the top section of the frame, and the bottom section of the frame will be cut in. This is a bird's mouth at the top, because we will have a top rail which sits on the brickwork this time. So it's a bit different, this build, and the reason it's different is because obviously we got brickwork here all the way down the back of the greenhouse, and it is an original greenhouse. So what we're doing is pulling the greenhouse down, which it is now, it's been pulled down, and we are now rebuilding the new greenhouse, but a lot more solid. This is 4x2, so the rafters are 4x2 and the front frame's 4x2 as well, so it'll last a very long time, and it'll be spray finished and it's going to look really nice. So we're looking forward to building this, aren't we, Matt?
Yeah, looking forward to it,
yeah, absolutely. Can't wait. So the part of the build's going to be with the rafters. I'm starting off with the rafters. Matt's kindly helped me cut all the rafters. In fact, he's done it all. And so there are all the rafters there for the roof. We need 12 rafters for the roof, and we need 8 stiles for the front frame, and we need obviously a base, and we also need a windowsill for the bottom of the frame as well. Now the bottom of the frame sits on bricks at 200mm high, so it's only a 2-course high brick, unlike my Victorian greenhouse, which is a 7-course high brick, which brings it up to about 600mm from the floor to the top of the brick. So you're going to have a sill, and then on top of that sill you'll have bolted to that your front frame and door frame as well. Door frame will consist of Iroko, so very similar to my door on my greenhouse, and also the bottom sill will be sapele, which is extremely hard wearing, so I wouldn't use anything else, to be fair, for a sill. So that's going to work extremely well. So that will be in its natural colour. The Iroko weathers incredibly well. It is really an outside wood. We will coat it and then leave it for the customer to coat as they please. Everything else we're going to paint. We're going to paint in a kind of a dark grey, battleship grey if you like. With the rafters to start with, I'm going to create a curve on both sides of the rafter, and curving it on the top here and on the top this side. On the end rafters I will only curve it one side, obviously, because there'll be lead flashing going over that, because you're going to have one rafter on one end wall bolted to the wall and one rafter on the other end of the wall bolted to that wall, so you'll only need one curve. All the rest will have curves on both sides of it, and then grooves on both sides. The grooves are 5mm It's a 5mm cut by 10mm into the wood. So that gives it, basically what I'm creating is a cap, if you like, over the glass, which will be then siliconed in, so that will stop any rain or weather getting in anywhere. And it will be one whole sheet of glass. So you can imagine that is one sheet of glass going through here, which will be pushed up from the bottom up into and under lead flashing where the brickwork is here. That in itself will create a nice weather seal, and all the rain will just fall down that one sheet of glass and end up going into a gutter at the end. So that's it really, that's the start of it. Matt here is going to do the front frame and actually concentrate on that, whilst I'll probably help him here and there, but I shall be concentrating on this right now. Matt, you're going to be cutting out there outside for the moment, aren't you?
I'm still cutting out the material to length.
Yeah.
Then, like you say, you're setting up for this. We're going to do a bit of square edging and thicknessing in preparation for the what we need to do later on. And once we've done that, I'll then be looking at doing the front frame. So
I bought the sawn wood because I can get the lengths out of it. And there's certain lengths that I can't get. So what we're going to do a scarf joint for that particular beam, and that'll be the front beam at the top of your front frame. The scarf joint being extremely strong. It is a construction method that every professional uses for that particular purpose. Then we're going to do a half lap on the windowsill, so half lap that. And the reason we're going to half lap that is because we couldn't get the lengths again, so we'll half lap that. We'll use polyurethane glue, so it's a very watertight joint. We'll make it a very good joint so it won't come apart, but we'll do that all on site. So the idea is to get all the front frame done today, maybe not today, but get in there, and and certainly I'll get the rafters done today anyway. But we'll go through the process and we'll show you what's what. That's a long intro, I know, but to be fair, there's a lot of work in greenhouses, as there is in anything wood industry, and there's a lot of planning behind it, a lot of planning. If you're a DIYer, then just bear in mind you've got to plan this extremely well, and the joinery has to be top notch. It really has, because it's got to withstand the test of time for easy 100 years or more, and that it will last that long. So let's get on with it, shall we, Matt? Okay, so what we're doing now is going to be, Matt's going to be planing.
You what?
He's planing. He's not planing right now, obviously, but he will be. So he's going to plane the shorter lengths. Now we have planed the big, massive, this length, which was how long?
4.2.
Yeah. We nearly had.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
We nearly had the planer stuck outside the door. What we're doing now is getting these curves done, as you can see, like that. And the end ones are like that, but they're curved one side only. I've got these lovely Festool clamps, Whether you see that on the bench, yes you can. They are fantastic, I love them. They really do hold your work down on the bench. Hence why I've got all these holes in the bench, of course. Love the old Festool stuff, of course. So we've got this bottom bit here on the Festool router, and also the connection port to your hose to the Festool hoover that I have under the bench. And it's superb, and it really does collect quite a lot. As you can see, it don't collect everything, but it collects a huge amount. I would say, if I didn't have that on, my workshop would be a real mess. The thing to watch out for these rafters is whether they're curving any way, and if they are, you really want the curve going like that, if that makes sense. So lay the rafter that way, so I would curve on the top of that, okay? And you just got to make sure that they're all the same. Can't swear, it's a tart. One more to do, but and then I'm on grooving. The groove.
You up?
I'm on grooving after this one.
Well, I'm now going to go and do the mark out for the scarf joint.
Ah, yes, okay, if you're going to do that, I'll get this done first and then I'll come out and we'll show people what we're doing, shall we, Matthew?
Yes.
Yes. Show you a scarf joint for when the wood's not long enough. And it's a scarf joint two together.
Are you clear on that there now then?
On where?
On here?
I
don't want to work
well,
on there.
ish.
I don't want to work on there.
What were you after?
Mark the top rail out.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah. Just let me just blow these pieces off. Oh, I feel dizzy now. Is there a bow there? Because if there is, what you want is all the pressure on the bow going down. If it's dead straight, great, not a problem. And of course, doing it to the other one as well.
The bow is that way.
Okay, so that's good. So
we want to mark that in.
Obviously, a roof, the pressure will bring it straight, won't it?
There's not much of a bow in it. To be fair.
No, good. Talking a load of rubbish.
Should we YouTube this before we do it?
Yep. Right guys, we're going to show you how to do a scarf joint now. So what we're doing is using 170mm timber, and whatever timber you're using, apparently it is 3 times the width of your timber is the length of your scarf joint. So in this case we're a little bit short, but it won't matter, it's not too bad. But we've got 170 height, so 3 times 170 is what, Matt?
Was it 510? I think it was.
510 is it?
Don't know.
So 3 times 175. 170, sorry, is 540, I believe, something like that. 510 is it? So what you do, you get the thickness of your timber, a spare piece, and you go from the corner edge to the corner edge after you've done your 45 degree, which is that one there. And the speed square, really important because that doesn't move. And then we go from that corner and we go to this corner on here to that line. Mark this side halfway. No, it's the other way, sorry. Mark that side halfway and then half this side this way. And you follow the top line for here and get the ends and mark down. Like so. And that line's fine where it is. Now what we've got to do is find the middle of that and do exactly the same. That's that. Okay. So now you've got your middle point, and now the bit that you got to cut out is this bit here. So all of that will be cut out. So your next joint, when we cut this out here, That'll be cut out there. Your next joint, your next joint will be this squiggle line.
Yeah, we'll replicate it on the other board. Once we've cut this one, then we can just scribe it from this joint onto the other board.
Yep, and then we take out a piece in the middle here. We take out a piece in the middle here, and then you'll have two wedges, one on each side, and then you'll smack them in, and that will pull the joint apart, as in, it'll try to pull the joint apart. In other words, it just stiffens the joint right up. It's a very, very, very simple joint and very effective for this kind of work. Right, so got a scarf joint all marked out. We're going to do the first cut, which is a bit of an awkward one. It's right on the end here, but because we've got the Festool rails, and I've got numerous amounts of different lengths, this is an ideal one. It's only 800 in length, so it's good for these rafters. We're going to cut that first cut, and we're at the right depth. Some ear protection, and I've already got eye protection, so that's fine. So and this is all stuck now because we've got clamps underneath. So that's a really good thing about Festool. You can get clamps everywhere. So off we go. So next one, we're going to this line here. This move. Beautiful. And then we're going for the last cut here before we delve into this cut to get this chunk out. Cool. Go for that there. I'm going to plunge the saw in to start with. And that is it. You can get down there, and I hold the blade tight against this piece of wood down the bottom, watching your fingers near the blade, of course, and that just comes from experience. Don't go near the blade because this is the pull saw, and that will just cut beautifully. It's a lovely saw. And of course, keeping our fingers away from the blade, but I'm doing the same here. This time we push, getting started. And then we go this way. Again, going underneath. I can feel where the end of the top of the blade is, so don't be worrying that I might chop my fingers off, because I won't. And there we have it. And that, guys and girls, is part of the scarf joint. So now we've got to transfer all of this onto the really long piece. Half of the scarf joint done. And so we'll take this outside now and transfer that onto the longer piece, I think. Yep. Got to find somewhere flat, Matt. Bright light.
Oh, bloody hell, that way that works out, mate. We've got 6 metre length there.
We've got 6 metre length. Yeah. That's good. So that whole beam there is dead straight. And we've got it perfectly in line, so as you can see there, once that scarf joint is jointed, that's how it's going to be, dead straight and very strong. So now what we've got to do is mark the bigger timber and mark that out for the secondary joint of the scarf joint. There you go.
Up and over.
All right. Of course. Of course. This is the moment of truth. Oh my God, look at that. Yes?
Yeah, well it's not flat at the moment, obviously, because we're on uneven ground, but yeah, it's looking good.
Just, yeah. That will go together. That's not bad. So that's your scarf joint. That will go together, that could tighten up. That will clamp up. But yeah, that's it so far. So that line that I've drawn there is now for the wedge. So we'll cut that out for the wedges. And then it will pull tight. And that is your scarf joint. So that's there. So you've got a little bit of a gap there as well. And that'll secure the next wedge. Cool beans. Oops, Stacey.
Can I do something now?
Yeah.
Can I? Are you sure?
Yeah, cut that.
Am I have to?
Yeah, cut it oversize though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do I need to be wearing eye protection and...
No, well, as it's you, no.
Are you sure I can do this?
What we're going to do now is put the grooves in to each side, 20mm down on the spindle moulder there. Now with the spindle moulder we have a 5mm thick cutter, and we're going in at 10mm. This is probably, well, day 3, let's call it. Now, I did get a lot of comments on my last video with the Victorian Greenhouse build from start to finish. And there's a lot of people on there curious how we actually built certain aspects of it. And I thought we'd go through this part with you. It's basically part of the sill, and the sill is that piece there. And that is how we construct in the UK. That is pretty standard format. That is how we construct a sill in the UK. Now, obviously this is sapele, which is a really hard wearing wood. I would highly recommend using sapele for sills. Now there's a lot of work in sills, as you can see. So you're going to have a drip underneath, and what happens is that water gets to here, and if it goes back to here, it will literally drip off before it cannot rise. This is the door sill. This is what we're going to create. So at the moment, Matt has basically planed that square and thicknessed it, and it is going to end up like one of them. How do we get, you may ask, how do we get this angle? Because it's such a big 100mm sill. How are you going to get that angle there? Well, it's a very simple. You're not going to get it on the spindle, so forget that. You're not going to get it on the saw, forget that, because that'll only go up to 75mm. The best way of getting that angle is on the thicknesser. So what you do, you make if you can get that template out for us, Matt, if you can turn it around so we can see. So basically what we've got here is a stop which goes on the bed there, right in front. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I'm sure they can see that.
That's my best Debbie McGee impression.
And then this one here is to raise this MDF, so you flip it the right way. So go round the other way, that's it. So we put that in like that, and it is at its desired angle already. Now the beauty of this particular jig, is you created an angle like that, okay? So you can see that, yeah, I can see that clearly. And that's what's going to give you the correct angle. So we're going to be doing that to this sill, which is the door sill, and we're going to be doing it to the sill that goes on the bottom of the greenhouse, which we've half lapped so we can machine it properly. You've got to half lap it, you can't do it all in one big hit, it just won't work. So you really ought to half lap that for that reason, for the machining side. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, innit?
Yep.
Love you, job. So there's the end result from the jig. So that works extremely well. So you've got the correct angle, which is the angle there, and then we'll put a round over on here with the router, and then a drip under here with the router again, and that is one sill done then. Well, and then of course we're going to cut into here and leave 10mm of stock here, and that will be your joint into the main part of the frame, which is a 90mm section here. I'm now onto the housing joints. So they're the housing joints, and we marked all them out for the window styles to go seat in there. And I want to do that with the Festool plunge saw and the 90° 800mm rail and the 90° template, if you like. I don't know what that's called, to be fair. The Festool FS WA 90°. That's what we're going to use, and we're going to put that on here. That lump there is literally just to support the Festool rail. That's all. So yeah, we're off. We'll crack on with that, and then between that, we're going to router out the rest of it with that piece there at 15mm deep exactly, and clean that all up in between the saw lines. Just cleaning up these the router marks that I've got left, the scurf that I've got left really. Just show you that if I can. I don't know whether you can see that or not. I think it's quite bright, isn't it? So I've got a little bit left in there. So I'll just clean that up with the chisel, and that'll be job done. And then, as long as that's dead square and dead flat, which it is, and it's slightly cupped, that will go in there, like so. Nice tight joint, lovely job. Today is the 4th day on this project, which is the Victorian Greenhouse. And what we're doing here is basically creating the joint that goes on top of the rail that goes the full length of the greenhouse, which is 5.5 metres. 5.5 metres in length in total. Now, as you saw the other day, we done a scarf joint on that rail. We also done some joints into that rail to marry up with the joints on the bottom rail where the sill is. So all these styles, which have been grooved out ready for glass, and that's been done on the spindle, they will literally seat in the joint in the bottom and then be cut out at the top there and be screwed from behind into the top rail, and they will seat down. So the downward force there'll be that will take a lot of downward force, a hell of a lot, a huge amount. So what I'm doing now is these are the rafters. So all these are the rafters going all the way through on the top of the roof, if you like. And I am cutting out the joints right at the bottom where the we're not having a bird's mouth at the bottom. We are having this scenario at the bottom, and I'm literally cutting through, putting it on the rail saw here. I've got my angle of 15 degrees, which is what the pitch of the roof is, 15 degrees. So this is going to cut through all those joints all in one go. So we've got 12 rafters here, and they are nice and flush all the way through on the tops. So every single one will be the correct depth. That's what we're doing. So the saw will be on there. I'll just zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So every single one of these is a rafter. Crack on with this scenario and show you how we're doing it, really. So I'm moving this rail in increments of about 2 mil and just carrying on with it, basically. So 15 degrees. So just keep going across until you get to the end of the joint, basically. That's all the cuts. And what that does, basically, is give you that. So you can literally snap them out of there and just clean them up. So as you can see, so it's a lot easier just to get rid of the bits that you've cut. And once you've got rid of all the bits you cut, which we will in a minute, we will then just clean up the bottom of the joint. Now, I'm not going to unclamp these until I've literally done that, because there's no point, because I can do it all in one go. Now what I'm going to do is just clean them joints up now. There you go. So there's your angle. So that's 15 degree angle, and that is the channel. So that will seat, all of these will seat in with a gap of 500 and something mil each gap, and that's your glass. And of course your glass will slide in to these gaps here. So this is kind of my construction method. Well, it is my construction method. It's you have to think about these as a carpenter or a cabinet maker or a joiner. You think of strength in mind and longevity of the product. I'm going to make the automatic window openers now for the roof. So we don't want them too long, because these automatic window openers, they have got a weight scenario, so a weight limit to how much they can push up a window. So these windows are going to be 650 mil long in total, and then I'll make them so there'll be a frame, a basic frame that'll be dominoed together and glued, of course, and that is it, simple as that. And then two sides will be then glued and pinned onto the sides of that with a groove in, which will then take the glass that can slide into the groove. And these windows will be right up the top where the LED flashing will overlap the windows. So they will be loosely, the LED flashing will be loose, so they're allowed to move, the windows can move up and down easily. That is our finished rail that goes on the outside of the window frames, which are in these clamps as we speak. I'm not going to lift them up too much. It's the same size groove in there and the same depth as all of our rails here, which we've got here, look, with the groove. Okay, so that is it. That's basically the angle. So that angle is the same as the angle that we have on our sill. So that will just let the water flow off of there, drip over onto the glass, and down it goes into the guttering. Let me get down there. So those notches on the main rail, that's the top rail, and every single notch will house one of those rafters. And one of those rafters, as you can see, that's notched out as well, and that will go into one of these notches. Back for another day, and this time we are going to be spraying because all the components are pretty much done. All I've got to do now is literally sand all those components. There's quite a lot. Sand it all and then start painting. Now there's your finished window. I just wanted to show you that. So that's how that works. So you've got your grooves for your glass to go up. You have a aluminium metal plate down here that you fold over on the glass, so it keeps all the glass in, and that'll be sat like that basically. I've got a bit more work to do before I start literally painting them, but like filler for a start and sanding the sharp edges off, and then we are there with that. So like I say, lots of sanding to do, and then we're there. We are pretty much there. We've got the door frame is completely made and finished. I'm not going to put that together. I'm not going to put that door frame together until we get the door made, and also that'll be lacquered rather than painted. So you're going to have a door that's going to have its natural gorgeous looking colour in the iRoco, and that'll be, like I say, that'll be oiled and finished in that respect. The painting is completely finished now. Maybe a touch up when we fit, you know, things like that with pinholes and what have you maybe. Other than that though, we are done, look. So this is volcanic ash, which is a nice grey. There are all the rafters there, sitting there, all done and finished, looking rather splendid with their new finish. And that's the sill, which is coated to death. So that'll last quite a long time before it needs a repaint. And of course we got all these bars, which are the glazing bars here, and then the door frame here, and windows down there, of course, down there, and little bits and pieces all over the place, all painted, ready to go in. That looks great, actually. That looks amazing. So yeah, that'll be go on top of the van. That's 5.5 meters, and the van is 5 meters. So I'm going to have 500mm hanging over the front, but I don't think that'll cause a major issue. Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to Ian Robinson's Cabinetry and Joinery. And today, me and Matthew Wheeler Cabinetry and Joinery, my buddy, we are going to put all this jigsaw that you can see in front of you into a greenhouse right there. And that's as simple as that. So morning.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you. You?
Good, yes.
Exciting day today.
Oh, yes. Very.
Oh,
That's a good colour, isn't it?
It's a lovely colour. It's well finished.
Yeah, Dave said you put 5 coats on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'll see you out for a long while, I would have thought.
Oh, wow. It's like a jigsaw, isn't it?
What's that, sorry?
It's like a jigsaw.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. So we're going to, once it's, we're hoping to get it erected today.
Yeah.
I'm going to need new lead for there, and very possibly new lead for there. So the idea is get all the frames up, get it all done and up, bolted to the walls, rafters in. Thank you very much, thank you. Get it all bolted. Really get it so it's at a stage where we can fit the door. And the reason we haven't done the door yet is because you just don't know what. If I make the door, I might have to take loads off, and I don't want to do that. So I'll make the door tomorrow, and I'll be back the 4th, I suppose. Well, I'll be back for the glass and the door in one day, and all the glass bead. And I'll do silicon all the glass in as well.
Dave said that takes 2 weeks to order.
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks once you order, roughly. Could be lucky, don't know. They're always busy. Took me 2 weeks to get a double glazed door, glass panel. So I made the door and I sat there in the workshop. But you can't do it any other way.
It's nice having it painted before it goes up.
Yeah, definitely. That's had a lot of paint on that, so I don't think you'll be worrying too much about that. Plus, when we put the glass in, we silicone it. Yeah, well done. So we silicone all the clear silicone, so you can't see it. So now the tie all in. That'll look fantastic. Boom, boom, boom. That one there. That one there. So you've got to go with what you got. Which is what we've got. What?
Yeah, shall I wind it down a bit?
Yeah.
How much?
That's it.
It'll all become solid once we get everything in.
It will, yeah. It will. So now we've got to screw all the uprights to this, and then bring it up.
They're not the right length, are they?
They are.
Once you've got that one in place, they've all got to be right because they're all cut the same.
They've got to be right with the bottoms. Yeah. But I would screw all these bottom ones in first.
Yeah, all I'm saying is if we just mark a line down the back edge here, then you know that you're at there.
Not yet. We can line it up with the square to that point there.
Oh, I think sort of stand.
But not mark it.
Okay.
Just have to paint again.
Oh.
Yeah. So
You want to take this out?
So
hang on, we've
yeah.
got to make sure these all fit.
they will fit.
Well, yeah, they're all 1600 now, aren't they?
Exactly. Well, nice weather, beautiful weather, but we're getting on really well. So that's all in, door frames in. Just got to bolt this door frame to the brick wall here. We've bolted all these have been all screwed in from underneath as the whole frame. And then, yeah, coming on. We'll get there. I'm ready now to put the main main beam across the top in, so we can't video that and do it, so you'll see the results. So we're just doing the roof at the moment and getting that all correct and how it should be. So as it's an old building and old brickwork, we have to basically make sure that where we've done birds' mouths, all the birds' mouths are going to be exactly the same in length. That way we are assured that all the glass will be the same length and the same width. Some of it, most of it anyway, apart from this one smaller bit over here, and maybe those two pieces on the other end on the far right, they will be slightly smaller than the rest of it. But a little bit of jiggery pokery to get it exactly how we want it, but it's coming along nicely. It's coming along, and a little bit more jiggery pokery than I was hoping for, but you know, we have got a lot of concrete left. We call it snot. It's all on the top there, and you just got to clear it and get it cleared from that top beam. And that top, you know, that top beam is what we're using to get everything to the correct length on those rafters. So we've got 4 more to put in after this, and then once we've done that, we're going to nail gun all the tops in, get it all nail gunned and toshed in through the sides, and then lead over the top, lead over the sides. As you can see on the left hand side already, let's zoom in a bit, and on the left hand side there you can see that there's a bit of lead there already, so that will go over the glass, and of course we'll seal all the glass in as well, so you won't have any water ingress anywhere. So we're moving on slowly, it's getting there, it's looking good. Matt Wheeler up there, my bestest buddy, and Tyler, who's also my bestest buddy and son, who's helping us out a lot today, honing his skills. He's I think he's last year of college now, so in woodwork, so he's learning loads and loads and loads and taking it all on board. So big jigsaw puzzle basically, but even with a big jigsaw puzzle you do have the odd issue here and there, and you just got to get over that issue and crack on. Just cut that with the saw a bit more, just so you don't have to take so much out. So still on there. Might notice I'm not doing a lot because I have had a piece of something go into my eye. It's really sore, so as you can see, really sore. I'm struggling to even move it, but we are carrying on regardless, and it's coming on beautifully. Actually, it's coming on really nice. So the hefty old duty nail gun has come out to play. We are making little templates or spacer bars with MDF to make sure we space out the glass very evenly and exact. We do have a 10mm groove that on each side of the beams there, or the rafters, so that makes up 20mm groove in total. However, we will give that a 5mm clearance, so we make sure that the glass goes up smoothly. So that is it, and looking good, looking really good. One greenhouse practically finished, looking great. Bit of lead work and all the glass going in, all glass measured up and ordered. Brilliant. Looks good, doesn't it?
Looks really good.
Yeah, looks really good. Looks really good. Looks fantastic.
Going to look lovely.
Yeah.
Once the glass goes in.
Now I'm going to pack away, get the glass in. There's not anything else we can do until the glass arrives. Right, we're back. We're back on another day. The glass has arrived, which is fantastic. So we're just now going to get the lead done. Matt's up on the roof. On the roof there. Cooey! So we've just bought a new tool, the Milwaukee grinder, and that's doing its job. You all right, Matt?
Yeah.
How are we getting on up there? Grinding the old cement out.
Not the easiest bloody.
No, it's not. It's not really easy in there. It's quite tight. But yeah, glass going on now. The glass is down here. They've got glass down here. So that's all your toughened glass. All over the place. All sitting there nicely. And looking back on the job, there we have it. Right, so what we've got to do now is get the glass on. So what we're doing at the moment, if I turn you around, you'll see what I'm doing. We're putting these clips on. These are called Verge Clips, and they're for tiles. But we actually use them for the greenhouse. So we got the first two pieces of glass on. I've done the lead and dressed it well as we can. I've lipped it under, so all the rain will just fall off of there. It's all cemented in as well with a cement gun, and foamed the gap here, and then we'll dress all that up later on. Yeah, and getting on really. So glass is going in basically, and Matt here is silicone in the glass, and done the roof lights, as you can see. So roof lights are done as well. They'll be on automatic openers, just like the greenhouse that I did last year in the Victorian greenhouse. And this is actually what you class as a Victorian greenhouse, inside 3 walls, and it is looking really nice. Well, good morning. We're on our last day today, hopefully, as long as the weather's kind to us. And it's not meant to rain today, but there you go. And we are carrying on with the build of the Victorian brick kind of greenhouse. I can't get my words out this morning.
What do you mean kind of greenhouse? It is a greenhouse.
It is a greenhouse. And there it is. And I'm just hoping that my measurements for the last piece of glass is going to be spot on. All the measurements so far have been really good. So now we're getting a bit excited because it's the last piece to go in, and it's here. And now, not being funny, but I'm pretty confident that will go in. But you can never tell. You can never tell, can you, Matt? So it should be all right. Well, my measurements aren't too bad, are they?
Not very often we're wrong.
No, I do tend to leave 5mm gap all round the glass. Well, 2.5mm gap all round, so 5mm in total. So just make sure it does fit. But yeah, we've run out of clips, so we've got to get some more clips. So if you're wondering, oh, where's those clips gone? On the roof, they're called Verge Clips. Yeah. But these are wider ones. You can get some standard ones and they look a bit rubbish, and we've got some today, but they don't work. So these are the Verge Clips, and they really bend easily, really easy. So you can clip all the glass into place, screw it from the other side, job done. So right, anyway, moving on. Matt, can you handle that piece on your own, bud? So this is all toughened glass. It's really bendy. Hopefully it won't snap. So just be a little bit aware, but that's quite bendy, isn't it?
It is.
Ooh. Now I don't think toughened glass would snap. It would take some serious force to actually snap a piece of toughened glass, I think. I'm hoping I'm right. But yeah, it's all polished edged. Oh, what's that then?
I think it's a knot and not a swollen up.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's past it though. It's past, yeah, it's past it. So carry on. That's just going to be a little bit tight. Yeah, it's fine.
Ooh. I was worried then. I was worried.
Why were you worried?
Well, because it was tight. But there we go. Look.
Superb. Super duper. There you go, looking good. So that's the last piece. Now obviously this piece had to be this size because we wanted all our rafters and all our main beams running down as they are now. So we had to do this because otherwise none of that would have worked at all. And of course, again, coming to the door situation here, we had to average 2 pieces of glass out there. So these 2 pieces obviously are a little bit smaller, and there's the missing clip, as you've seen, as I was talking about earlier on. But I've got some coming. They take 3 days unfortunately to arrive, but they'll go in, that's fine. That'll finish that off. We've got the automatic window openers to fix on. I suppose that'd be next really. And then just little bits and pieces, filling, all that kind of stuff, just to finish off and yeah, make good basically. £7,000 and you've got a beautiful structure for life. It really is for life, and we do guarantee them. If there's any issues with them, you come back to us and we'll sort it out. So you know, that's a nice little assurance, if you like, for us to come back. Professional job is what I'd say, wouldn't you, Matt?
Yeah, we are.
We are professional, of course we are. Yeah, years and years of experience between us. But yeah, that's a fantastic job. Really pleased with it. I'm pleased with it. I'm very pleased with it, and customers are over the moon with it. So that's superb.